Hello, thank you for joining me. My name is Erica. I am a yoga, mindfulness, and anxiety coach. And today we're going to be doing a pregnancy sequence. So, if you are doing this video, congratulations on your pregnancy. I wanted to just let you know of a few things that you can keep in mind for your yoga practice. Not specifically for this practice today, because I have choreographed the sequence specifically for pregnancy, but for you to be able to be aware of specific things to take into your yoga practice, perhaps at other studios near your house. All right, so a few things for you to remember when it comes to pregnancy. Some of the contraindications. One of the main ones is to not apply a lot of pressure to your abdomen in twists and compression in your abdomen in any way. So, for example, if you're doing a very extreme twist, you're not very sure where your baby is throughout your pregnancy, and that could be harmful to your baby. And the same if you are bending over quite a lot and compressing or placing your body down and compressing on your abdomen, lying down flat on your belly. Things like that are not suggested for pregnancy, just to keep baby safe. Another contraindication is breathing. Try not to retain your breath or hold your breath, because that prevents oxygen from going to your baby. So breathing exercises like the square breath are not recommended during pregnancy. Another contraindication is inversions. So there's different schools of thought. Some people say it's okay, other people say it's not. Basically, this is for you to decide. We're not going to be doing inversions in this practice today, but I know a lot of seasoned yogis do inversions throughout their pregnancies. But this is something for you to decide and possibly to discuss with your doctor or to discuss with your yoga teacher if you go to a studio. What is happening when it comes to inversions is that the blood is moving away from the uterus. So this school of thought against inversions is that you're taking oxygen and blood away from your uterus, which is something that people believe shouldn't be done. So this is something for you to explore and decide for yourself. Another thing when it comes to pregnancy is to decide what props you're going to use. I think it's always good for you to have props with you whenever you're in your yoga practice during your pregnancy, because we change from day to day during our pregnancies, and some days you might be able to do something, other days it might just be so much easier with a block or with a bolster or a pillow. So those are a few of the things when it comes to pregnancy. If I think of anything else during the practice, I'll let you know. But for now, we're going to begin with our sequence. So we're going to start seated in a cross-legged position. I like to take pillows underneath me. You can take one or two pillows. You can take a block or even a bolster. What this does is that it elevates your hips above your knees and just allows your knees to relax down. So you can take your hands to your knees, you can take your hands to your belly, whatever feels right for you. And take a deep breath in and sigh it out. And another deep breath in and sigh it out. And gently close your eyes. And just allow yourself to settle. Notice how your breathing is today. Try not to do anything with it. Just try to be a witness to it for a moment. And then very gently, you can begin to bring your focus to your inhalations and your exhalations. Breathing in for a count of 4 and exhaling for a count of 6. If your mind is busy today, try not to get frustrated by that. Just be a witness to your thoughts and then very gently bring your awareness back to your breathing. And just taking a moment to have a check-in with yourself. How are you feeling physically? How are you feeling emotionally? Try not to judge how you're feeling. We just want to bring some awareness to what is going on with ourselves so that we can then better take care of ourselves, have compassion for ourselves, forgive ourselves. And just taking one more deep breath in and sighing it out. And very gently blinking your eyes open. Just stretching into the neck as you look up. Breathing out, looking down. And breathing in, looking up. Try not to crunch into the back of the neck. And breathing out, looking down. One more time, breathing in. And breathing out, looking down. And breathing in, coming back to center as you breathe out, looking over your shoulder. And just taking deep breath in and out here. And on your next inhalation, bringing your head back through center and over to the opposite side as you breathe out. Taking a deep breath in and out. And breathing in back to center. We're just going to limber up the spine. So as you breathe in, you're going to come forward and gently arch your spine. Breathing out, making a curve with your spine as you come off your sitting bones. And breathing in, coming back forwards. Breathing out, rocking back. So there's no right or wrong way to doing this. As long as it feels good in your body, you can make this as small or as big a movement as you'd like. And if you'd like, you can close your eyes to better feel the movement. And just doing one more, forwards and backwards. And coming back to center. And then starting to do big circles with your spine. Feel as if your spine is a spoon and your pelvis is a bowl. Going to rotate as big or as small as you'd like. Once again, choose the way you'd like this movement to go. There's no right or wrong way. And then changing directions. And coming back to center. Sitting up on your sitting bones, taking your arms at your sides, turn your palms out. Take a deep breath in, extending your arms all the way up and lengthening your spine. And as you breathe out, letting your arms drift all the way back down. And just doing this 2 more times, filling the movement with the breath. And one more time. And on your next inhalation, bring your arms all the way up And just take a moment to really lengthen your spine, finding space in your belly. And as you breathe out, you're gently going to hinge over to the side. Your bottom arm will go down to the mat. Your top arm will stay up. And you're just going to breathe into your side body. And draw that opposite hip down. Take one more deep breath in and out. And on your next inhalation, bringing both your arms back up, finding that length and that openness in your belly. And as you breathe out, hinging over to the opposite side, drawing that opposite hip down. Take one more deep breath in and out. And on your next inhalation, taking both your arms up, finding that length once more. And as you breathe out, a gentle twist over to the side. Your belly actually only goes towards your knee. It's a very gentle twist. And then you look over your back, almost to the back corner. So if at any point something feels like it's too much for you, back off. You know, that's very important during pregnancy. Listen to your body. If it feels like it's putting some strain, just release a little bit. Take one more deep breath in and out. And then very gently coming back to center as you breathe in and breathing out over to the opposite side. One more deep breath in and out. And breathing in, coming back to center. All right, we're going to go onto all fours so you can remove your pillow or your bolster or block if you had any of those props. Coming into a tabletop position, your wrists are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips, your feet are released along the mat. We're just going to do a few cat and cows. So breathing in, dipping your belly gently, breathing out, curling in like a cat, and breathing in, gentle arch, and breathing out. I'm just doing this a few times. Once again, if you'd like to close your eyes, you're more than welcome. I'm just doing one more. And then coming back to a neutral spine. Take a deep breath in as you lift your right arm either shoulder level or a little bit higher. And as you breathe out, you're going to thread your right hand underneath your left. Bring your right ear down to the mat. And just breathe into it. You can take your left arm straight out in front of you if that feels good for you. And on your next inhalation, bringing your hand back to support you as you come up to your tabletop position. Taking a deep breath in, your left arm will go up now. And breathing out, threading it through. Releasing your left ear down onto the mat. And stretching into that right arm if that feels right for you. And deep breaths. And on your next inhalation, bring your right hand back to help you up to your tabletop position. You're going to walk your hands forward. I'm moving my knees back a little bit so that I don't touch the pillows, but you're going to walk your hands forward about a foot in front of you. And then you're gently going to release your chest down in a puppy pose while keeping your hips where they are. So your forehead or your chin can come down to the mat. And then you're just going to breathe deeply. And take one more deep breath in and out. And on your next inhalation, very gently walking your hands back to your tabletop position. On your next inhalation, you're going to extend your right leg back, tucking your toe in to stretch into that calf muscle. And on your next inhalation, you're going to lift your right leg parallel to the floor, hip height. And then engaging in your core as you breathe in, you're going to lift your left arm in line with your ear. Your palm faces inwards. Take one more deep breath in. And as you breathe out, left hand down, right knee down. And breathing in on the left side, extending your left leg, stretching into that calf muscle. Breathing in, lifting your left leg parallel hip height. And then engaging in your core as you breathe in to lift your right arm, ear height, or in line with your ear, your palm faces inwards. And take one more deep breath in. And as you breathe out, release your hand and your knee back down. On your next inhalation, you're going to take your right foot and place it at the front of your mat. Now, if that feels too difficult for you, you can use your right hand to push your right ankle forwards. So make space for your belly. Usually when you're in a lunge position, your foot would probably be a little bit more towards the midline. We don't want to keep it very closed. We want to keep it open for the belly. Your foot is facing forwards. And on your next inhalation, you're going to walk your hands onto your thigh in your low lunge. If you need to take a blanket or a pillow underneath your knee, please do so. You can also fold the mat over for a little bit more padding. And if you'd like to stay here, you can stay here. Or if you'd like, you can breathe in and extend your arms up towards the sky. If you're feeling energetic today, you can tuck your back foot and stretch your back leg. So just choose whatever feels right for you. Honor where you are, honor your body. And take one more deep breath in. And as you breathe out, bringing both your hands down to the mat, you're going to stretch your front leg. Now, if stretching your front leg takes your hip further than your knee, you might need to scooch that front foot forward just to keep your knee in line with your hip. Once you're there, taking in a deep breath, you're going to either fold forward, or if your belly doesn't allow, you're going to stay with a nice flat back. If you need, you can also take blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use books and just keep them underneath your hands just to keep your back nice and straight. Please remember that during pregnancy, because of your pregnancy hormones, you're likely to be very, very supple, or more supple than you usually would be. And this is because your ligaments tend to stretch a bit more. So we don't really want to stretch our ligaments too much. So try to not overdo your stretching in your pregnancy. Okay. Take one more deep breath in. And on your next exhalation, you're going to keep your right hand on the mat. And as you breathe in, you're going to lift your left arm up into an open line. If you need to use your block to get a bit more height, you're welcome. And take one more deep breath in. And as you breathe out, bringing both your hands down to the mat, you're going to place your foot flat on the floor and walk it out a little bit further even and turn your foot out. We're going to go into a lizard. So this time your hips are really going to draw down as much as possible. You can either keep your arms straight or you can place your elbows down onto the mat. Always making sure that you're making space for your belly. And take one more deep breath in and out. And on your next inhalation, if you're on your elbows, you're going to come back up. And then you're going to walk that right foot across until you are in a half plank position. So you're going to turn your hips to place your left, to lean onto the side of the left foot. And you're going to stay either in this half plank position, or if you'd like, you can go into a full plank. That's all dependent on where you're at in your pregnancy and how you're feeling. And take one more deep breath in. And breathing out, bringing your hand back down, turning both your feet to the front, stepping your feet back to plank position. Now, if plank position is too much for you, you can just keep your knees onto the ground. If you're fine in your plank, just breathe for 1 or 2 breaths. And then gently release your knees down, opening up your knees, big toes together, releasing down in a child's pose. If you're finding there's not enough space for your belly in your child's pose, you can put a blanket or a pillow underneath you, underneath your thighs. That'll help to lift your pelvis. And you can also take a block and rest your forehead onto the block, and that'll help you to get some more space. Big deep breaths. Take one more deep breath in and out. And then gently coming up, removing any props you may have back into your tabletop position. We're going to step that left foot forward now. Once again, if you need to hold on to your ankle to bring you forward, please do. And then make space for baby. So your toes are pointing forwards, but you're making space for your abdomen. And then we're going to come up into our low lunge. So hands on your thighs. If you need to place something under your knees for padding, please do. And then if this is enough for you, you can stay here, or you can breathe in and lift your arms. Or if you tucked your toe and stretched your leg before and you're happy to do that on this side, you can also go ahead and tuck your toe and stretch into your leg. Take one more deep breath in. And as you breathe out, taking both your hands to the mat, stretching into your front leg. and making sure that your hip is staying over your knee. You might need to scooch your foot forward a little bit. And then once you're there, if you use blocks on the opposite side, you can grab your blocks, take a deep breath in, and gently either fold forward, or if your belly doesn't allow, just to keep a nice straight back as you hinge forward. One more deep breath in and out. And on your next inhalation, keeping your left hand either on a block or on the floor. As you breathe in, extending your right arm up towards the sky. One more deep breath in. And breathing out as you bring your hand back down, making your left foot, bringing your left foot flat down and walking it out to turn it out to get ready for your lizard position. So your arms can be straight, or you can place your elbows down onto the mat. Take one more deep breath in and out. And on your next inhalation, bringing yourself back up, we're going to set up for that half plank. So walking your left foot sort of to the midline, leaning onto your right hand as you go onto the side of your right foot and extend your left arm up. If this is enough for you, you can stay here, or you can go into a full plank, side plank, bringing both your feet one on top of the other, or one foot in front of the other. You can choose. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, bringing yourself back forward, hands flat on the mat, both your feet are facing forwards, and then stepping back to your plank position. If you need to place your knees down onto the mat, you can, or into your plank just for 2 big breaths in and out. And then gently releasing your knees if you were in your plank position. We're going to come around. You can probably stay facing where you are. I'm just going to face the front. We're going to come into a malasana. So from here, you're just going to bring both your feet to a very wide turned out position to come into your squat. Now, if this is difficult for you, you can also set up a block first and then sit on a block and keep your heels turned out. I'm going to stay on a block just to show you. So in your malasana, your hands are in your prayer position. Your feet are well turned out, and then you're pushing against your thighs with your elbows. So once you're in a nice position with a flat back, just close your eyes for a moment and take a few calming breaths. And take one deep breath in and sigh it out. And then very gently opening your eyes. Turn your feet parallel and your knees parallel. And then just removing your block if you had one. And then bringing yourself to a bent knee position, take your hands onto your thighs and just very gently help yourself up. Bring your feet together. Take a deep breath in as you extend your arms up towards the sky. And as you breathe out, you're going to lift up and over into a side stretch. All the side stretching is really great if baby is getting stuck underneath your ribs, and if you're finding that you just need a bit of spaciousness in your body where baby is sitting. So try to think of not crunching down, think of lifting up and over. So you're actually lengthening in both sides of the body. Take one more deep breath in and out. And then breathing in, coming up, finding that length again, finding that spaciousness, and then keeping that spaciousness as you hinge over to the opposite side. And breathing in and coming back through center. We're going to set up for your warrior number 2, Virabhadrasana number 2. So your front foot is turned out, your back foot is almost in line, your heel is in line with your arch of your foot, and your toe is turned in. So take a deep breath in, extend your arms to shoulder level, and as you breathe out, bending into your front knee, you may need to adjust your back foot to turn it a little bit more or a little bit less. Just make sure that your back knee is tracking over your big toe and your second toe. Try not to let your knee conk in. And then just take a few deep breaths. Take one more deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you're going to take your elbow down into your thigh, turn your back palm up and take your arm over your head, in line with your ear. Your fingers can go into a mudra if you feel, taking your index finger and your thumb and touching those together. Take one more deep breath in and out. And on your next inhalation, coming all the way back up, turning your toes to face the opposite direction for Virabhadrasana on the opposite side. Take one deep breath in, and as you breathe out, bending into that front knee. With your warrior number 2, your hips are facing the side wall, and you're looking over your front hand. Take one more deep breath in. And as you breathe out, taking your elbow down to your thigh, turning your back palm up, and extending your arm over your ear. Take one more deep breath in and out. Breathing in, coming all the way back up, taking your hands to your hips, turning towards your front foot and stepping your feet up to the top of your mat. Now you can come down to the mat, to the floor in either way, 2 ways. The first way is the easiest way for pregnancy, and that would be to just bring one knee down to the mat, the other knee down to the mat, and then sit to the side of your feet. That's the one way. If you'd like more of a challenge, you can do the traditional Surya Namaskar way, breathing the arms up, swan diving down, stepping back to a plank position, and then bringing your knees onto the ground. And we'll all meet with our knees on the ground We're going to come into a Baddha Konasana. So your soles of your feet are going to come together. You're going to push, take your hands behind you and push your pelvis forward towards your heels. And then you're going to grab hold of your big toes with your peace fingers, or if that's not available to you, you can just hold your ankles. You're going to take a deep breath in, and then you're going to hinge forward with a flat back. So this is one of those instances where we're not going to curl our spines too much. We want to keep more length in the abdomen. If you have got your peace fingers around your big toes, you can use your elbows to work your thigh, well, your calf muscles down, your shins down, but try not to flap your knees. Try to just keep it a static movement. And taking one more deep breath in and out. And very gently coming up. You're going to stretch your legs out in front of you. You're going to bend your left foot, placing your left foot flat on the mat. And just another very open sort of twist. So your left arm is going to come to the inside of your left knee. Find the space for your belly if you need it. Take your right hand behind you and just gently opening up to look towards the back body. And breathing in, release. Bending your knees, stretching out your left leg now. Right foot flat on the ground. Right arm on the inside of your right leg. Take your left hand behind you. And then gently twisting your head to look towards the back. And then gently releasing. And we're going to go make our way onto the ground. So you're going to bring your knees to the side. And if you have a pillow, ideally, if you have a bolster, that would be great. If you don't have one, it's okay. So you're going to take a bolster or a pillow or two pillows, in fact. And remember to go onto your left side. We try not to lie on our right side during pregnancy. So once you're there, you're just gently going to help yourself down, and we're going to go into almost like a modified shavasana. If you would like to go into a shavasana on your back with props, with pillows propping you up so that your back is at an angle, you can also do that, absolutely. I'm just going to go into this position for anybody who doesn't have extra props. So you're just going to rest your body on the left-hand side. Rest your right knee onto a couple of pillows. And then you can take your hand to your belly. If you need, you can put a pillow underneath your head. If you want a blanket, you can put a blanket on you. And once you're nice and comfortable, you can take a deep breath in and gently close your eyes and just allow yourself to relax. And very gently deepening your breathing. Very slowly moving your fingers and your toes. And with great care, taking your right hand down to the mat, bending your knees, just slowly using your hands to bring you up to a comfortable seated position. Taking your pillow underneath you, if that felt comfortable for you, and just in your cross-legged position, taking your hands, one hand at your belly, one hand at your heart, and closing your eyes if they're not already. And just taking a few moments to connect with your baby. Honoring how sacred it is that two souls are sharing one body, living off of one body. Honoring this incredible experience that you are going through in your life. And honoring the soul that has chosen you to come into this earth, to come into this beautiful life. And when you're ready, in your own time, you can very gently bring yourself back and blink your eyes open.